Got the Krone 2801cv, impeller tine, disc mower conditioner, 1977 1105 Massey Ferguson with the 354 Perkins diesel with a factory turbo. So Teff Grass hay, second cutting, 30 days exactly since we cut it, made the first cutting. So let's get going. Well, I'm on the farm today, and a day after I made the Teff Grass gamble video. And basically what I did was I elected not to cut teff before the rain we had coming and the thunderstorms, and take a gamble that it wouldn't fall over. So the first thing I want to check here is how much rain we actually got. And it looks like just a tick over a ½ an inch. Now let's see if we got any hay still standing up. So we definitely got a little bit of lodging here, maybe a lot of lodging. I mean, this is not like flat on the ground. Maybe my Krone will pick some of that up. So did my gamble pay off? I don't know. I mean, all of that was standing up before it started raining. But I don't know, I just thought I'd have a real soupy mess if I wasn't careful. But the wind is picking up, maybe you can hear it. And today is July the 29th, and the last cut was May the 29th. You're looking at 30 days growth right here. And what I'm going to do, we're supposed to get 10-15 mile an hour winds and then higher gusts than that. The next 3 days is going to be sunny, cooler temperatures in the 80 to 85 degree highs, and lower humidity. So I'm going to try to mash this teff and get it cut and baled up. Hopefully I won't need to use preservative, but if I do, I will. And anyway, this is 30 days growth, pretty impressive, I think. And in some ways, I think it's thicker than my first cut. So let me get the Massey Ferguson. Got a few more points on it I want to grease, and then I'm just going to wait until, I mean, there's still some clouds up there, but there's no rain forecast. And I want this grass completely dry before I start cutting, so it might be a couple hours yet before I get started. So I'll come back. All right, I'm out here with the Massey Ferguson 1105. It's been several hours since I was out here earlier, and it's about 11:30 in the morning, and we've had off and on breezes, some of them pretty strong. And just looking at some of this Teff grass out here, I'm not saying it's going to stand up, but it just seems like the weight of the moisture on it is lightened up some, and probably the wind has helped it too. It definitely looks a lot better than it did. Is it dry all the way to the bottom? I don't think so, but I need to get started. We don't have full-throated sun yet, like they're calling for. There's been some clouds, but I need to get this down, and so it'll have, you know, the rest of the day to cure. Got the Krone 2801cv, impeller tine, disc mower conditioner, 1977 1105 Massey Ferguson with the 354 Perkins diesel with a factory turbo. So Teff Grass hay, second cutting, 30 days exactly since we cut it, made the first cutting. So let's get going. Right now I'm in low range third gear multi-power high. We'll see how that goes. I'll probably kick it up a notch. Not cutting too close to the edge over here. There's some debris. And I got a bunch of Johnson grass down there at the edge of the field. I'll be avoiding that stuff like the plague as much as I can. Right there's some lodged grass. I don't know, I have to come back and just see how much it got. But I'm not mowing this right in here with the Johnson grass in it. There's a strip right there. I don't know why that strip. I mean, what it's cutting looks pretty good. I'll get out and check in it a little bit. Let me make a few rounds. So while it's heavy, it's not as heavy as I think it could be. It looks all different from the cab being up here than being down on the ground. And that might be a good thing if it's not as thick. Maybe I can get it to dry down a little easier. I mean, I'm definitely going to have some square bales out of here. So right down in here, it's kind of thick. Maybe not as tall, but tall equals lodging, so. I'm cutting it a 5-inch stubble. I'm losing yield on that, but I should get another quick regrowth for a third cutting. See some lodging right over there. My front tires are starting to dry off a little bit. Where the rib is and mashing into the ground, it's still wet, but I think it's drying off pretty good. And I can see the wind blowing. I think the sun's about to come out. Teff Grass is not my favorite. It's kind of a patch or a bandage on this farm. I would prefer not to grow it, but it does provide some revenue that we wouldn't get otherwise. I thought about getting out and taking a few shots on the ground, picking up the hay and whatnot, but just from where I'm seeing up here, for what it is, I'm pretty pleased with the cut. And when I get done, I'll get out and we'll take a look, see at everything. By then the damage is done, right? I think my Krone's getting under some of this lodged grass. It's over, but it's not flat on the ground, which is a definite plus. So like I mentioned, you know, this lodged grass is probably better that I'm in here the day after it fell over with the rain instead of a week later, because I feel like it'll just continue to go to the ground, and if there's more rain on top of it, it will go flat to the ground. So I think that gives me a little bit of a chance to get under it, and I think that's what the mower is doing. But when I get done, we'll look at it. Yeah, you can see the grass really whipping in the wind right now, and that's exactly what we need. And that's what I didn't have on the last cut of this Teff Grass. I'll be tedding this stuff out sometime today. I'd like what's out here to dry off on top, and then maybe about 3 or 4 o'clock ted it one more time, maybe. So this is a Wednesday, the 29th. Thursday, I'll have a full day, and then Friday afternoon I'm going to bale it. So this is going to be 2.5 day hay, which is risky on Teff Grass, because if you think it's done, you kind of need to wait another day. But we got rain coming, so. And I got the hay preservative ready. But I'm hoping between cutting it dry like this, and the wind and the sun, and this Teff Grass, you know, when it grows back, it's got stems. It's not like an orchard grass that grows back and it's just a big pile of leaves bundled up. There's actually stems in here, just like first cutting. And the impeller tines on this Krone do an absolute excellent job at dry down. So I feel confident if it was any other grass, 2.5 days, given the weather window we're forecasting, I could get it dry. We'll see on this Teff. Sometimes it can rehydrate, but I got to do what I got to do. I got the hay preservative standing by on the baler. Alright, this side of the field, on this side of the barn over there, is finished. And now I'm going to move down. There's really 2 sections down there. One that comes straight out from my barn, and then kind of a triangle piece down below it. And we'll take that next. But I don't know. I'll get some square bales out of here. Second cutting Teff Grass. So these bare spots you see down there, those brown spots are where it lodged the last time on the first cut. But what I'll do is I'll go around the perimeter until I break out, and I'll have 2 sections, and then I'll cut them individually after that. It's the only way to do it without running over standing Teff Grass, and when this Massey Ferguson runs over any grass, it generally doesn't stand back up. I'll come back. Some of this Teff Grass down in here is pretty thick, but oddly enough, down in that section right there, it's thinner than it is up in here, and even over in here. And on first cut, it was the opposite of that. I think the lodging kind of took its toll on some of the yield here on this second cutting. Like I said, when I get done, I'll get out and walk around this field and we'll take a look-see at it. So I picked up my speed here a little bit. I'm in high range first gear, alternating between multi-power low and high, so I can get off this field and let the sun do its thing and the wind. We'll see what the cut looks like. My blades on the mower are very sharp. I changed them at the end of last year, I think. But I checked them and they're pretty sharp. I'll slow it down here in the turns. Going down that long stretch right there behind us. That's where we're kicking it up into a faster gear. Pretty nice. Knock on wood, all the vitals on the tractor look good. Oil pressure, cooling. I'll come back. Alright, so I finished cutting this whole field and I had a little bit of trim work to do down here between the two sections. And I'm going to park this tractor. Then I'll get out and we'll take a look, see at the quality of the cut and the volume. You know, it's deceptive because when it's all standing up, it looks like you got a bazillion bales of hay, and then you cut it and then the wind rose. I mean, it looks impressive. And then it dries down and then it's like the hay just continues to shrink and shrink. But I can already tell the difference in color where the sun's been on it up here while I've been mowing down here. And I'm going to head this stuff out in a little bit. I'm going to give me some lunch and let it soak in the sun and the wind, and a little bit later on I'm going to ted it out, and I'll probably ted it again tomorrow. I'm not really big on tedding hay over and over and over and over. I guess if I had a straight disc mower or I was cutting with my sickle mower, I'd probably do that, but the conditioning really occurs behind the cutter bar on a mower conditioner, whether it's rolls or impellers. And if you're not familiar with the process, basically you're creating opportunity for the moisture to get out of the hay by crimping it or scuffing the wax on the stems. And so it's very effective. And this Krone in grass hay is really superb. So we got a 2.5 day window, and I mean we're already past noon, so in some ways it's a 2-day window, but all the rest of the day, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. So Friday afternoon we'll be baling this stuff. hook or crook, it's going up in a bale. And but let me get this thing parked and out of the field, out of the way, down in here. And I'll come back and we'll take a look and see what I got. All right, so what do we got here? This is the last that I cut, and there's Teff Grass in here, there's some crabgrass down in here, and every now and then there'll be some Johnson grass. This is not going to be like super duper premium Teff Grass hay, but it's thin down in here, and you can see these brown spots around. That's where it lodged. It lodged pretty bad down in here on first cut, and but nonetheless, this is not like heavily fertilized first cut Timothy volume, but and the wind, I apologize for the wind, but we really need it here for this hay to dry down. I mean, that don't look too bad. Running at a faster pace, you know, I don't know that my cut was any worse. Where it was lodged over, it was lodged over. I got sharp blades on the Krone, so might have not cut as clean as I was running the fastest in first gear, high range multi-power low and high, and then up in there I was running low range third gear multi-power low and high. And but I will say this, the more volume you put through that conditioner, the more scuffing and you know, action you're going to get as far as conditioning goes. I think the more grass you can rub together and mash up against that conditioning hood, I think the conditioning is going to be better. So it's kind of a trade-off between, you know, how clean of a cut. In straight orchard grass, Timothy, fescue, I can go as fast as I can sit in the seat and get a clean cut. But you know, a lot of people here we are on July 29th. There's a lot of people that haven't taken first cut yet, and I'm just kind of going to walk around and gaggle and talk. Places like this is where it was lodged, kind of fell over, but a lot of it I was kind of able to get up under. Maybe that will just contribute, that stuff that's a little high right there, maybe that'll contribute to third cutting. If they ever make a disc bind with a reel, I don't know, that might be a good thing. But up in here where I first cut, and this would have been one of my passes, so you can see here how this is already starting to dry on top, and then right here is the first row I made working down this way. So I'm definitely going to have some hay bales. How many remains to be seen, but that's the second cut of Teff Grass hay here in 2026. So we'll talk to you later.